everyone, welcome to Beyond the Baseboards. My name is Erik Miller, and in this episode, it's going to be quick and powerful, just like this intro. If this is the first time checking out the show, thank you. There's about 1 million of these things on the channel. We cover all kinds of real estate related topics and areas. Today on the show, we have another real estate expert, and really just the nicest guy you'll ever meet. I'm talking about Craig Yace. Craig is a RE/MAX agent in Corona, California. Now don't let the name fool you. That place is great, and Craig is going to tell you all about it. I hope you like this episode of Beyond the Baseboards. Craig is literally the best real estate story in the entire season 1. It's hilarious and with a twist ending. Really, it should be its own video, but you know what? Let's call it a bonus video. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Craig Yace. Bold spot. Boop.
Oh no, if I stand up, you're going to see the newsman. See that?
Oh, that's hilarious.
I got shorts on, baby.
That's the best ever.
So I started working in Corona. It was Corona Realty was my first brokerage that I worked at. So I got to know Corona really, really well. It's a great area. It's a lot like Irvine. I call it Irvine East. So Irvine is a beautiful neighborhood. All the homes are, million plus. It's very well laid out. And so Corona's kind of the same way. It's really well laid out, except for the older stuff. One of the cool things about Corona, boy, if we could pull up a map, if you could pull up a map and blend it together with this podcast and do some editing, you'll see that there is it's called the Circle City. So you'll see that there's a street called Grand Avenue, and it makes this perfect circle. And back at the turn of the century, they used to race cars on that street.
Okay.
So Desi Arnaz, you and I you're younger than me, but you're still old enough to know I Love Lucy.
But you look younger than me, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Your body starts breaking down. That matters. But anyway, Desi and Lucy used to come out and watch those races, and there were houses that were built off Grand Avenue with balconies in the front of the house so they could watch the race. And
wow,
it was really cool.
That's cool. Sounds like a really cool area. Is it all older homes, or is there new build construction there too?
Yeah, that area is our historic area. So you're going to have homes. A buddy of mine lived in a house that was built in, well, there were title issues. So we don't know if it was built in 1897 or 1892. But I'm going to call it 1897.
Okay.
You would never know it by looking at it, but it was built out of adobe. And all the houses around it are, turn of the century homes. And then going out, we had homes built in the 20s, 30s, 60s, 70s. And then there's this one street that kind of cuts Corona in half. And then beyond that street, we have South Corona. And that's really well developed. And most of those homes were built, they started building in 92. And then, of course, we've got homes that are under construction right now.
Wow. I think one of the biggest problems with buying a house that was built in the 1800s is not digging through the walls for treasure. Like, don't you feel like those houses have the greatest likelihood of something like secret passage or something? Is that just me that thinks that? I mean,
for sure. Yeah. It's funny that you say that because I would never know. I actually had a client tell me, just a little off track. She says, "Hey, Craig, I don't want a house built in, turn of the century. I don't want a 100-year-old house," which I rarely sell those anyway. In fact, I don't think I've ever sold one.
Okay, that would be rare.
Yeah, super rare. And she said, "I don't want one of those because I'm sure over 100 years somebody had to die in that house, and I don't want any ghosts." But
right. I mean, that's just, well, it sounds ridiculous, but when you think about it, you're like, every little creek, that's a lot of history. I don't know. It's weird. I think they're wonderful. They're so interesting. I'd be disappointed if I have a 100-year-old house and there's not like some kind of secret room or, some stuff stored,
for sure.
Stacks of Confederate dollar, whatever it is they do, I think that's part of what makes it fun.
Yeah. Well, and so here's the story that we were talking about. You said, don't you think there's hidden treasures and things like that? I was just talking to a neighbor of mine. He's an older guy, 78, I think. He's been around for a long time. He's bought and sold many homes. In fact, he says, I've never, one time he used a realtor. So he always does these, hey, I'll trade you 2 goats and a pig for
Right.
the down payment on the house. And and he said he has a buddy that bought an old house. The seller felt like he got such a great deal. He's traveling now, and he realizes, oh my gosh, I left a whole bunch of stuff at that house. And so he called the guy that just bought the house. He says, hey, I left a whole bunch of stuff there. I just remembered, I don't care about it. You can keep it. I felt like I got such a good deal. You go ahead and keep what's there. Well, the guy starts digging through the attic, and he's looking under floorboards and all kinds of stuff. And he said he found a box with like $50 gold coins. But they're from like forever ago. And so, the weight of them, they're probably what, 50,000 each. I don't know how much they were, but
Wow.
he found old coins, he found old weapons, he found just all kinds of great treasures. And he probably made more on that than he did on the house.
It's incredible. That's like the best story ever. And now what you've done, you see, is you've sort of strengthened my position to think in weird ways.
Right.
Because I had no idea that's actually happened, but I assume that stuff happens all the time, or
Yeah.
once in a while, enough to make it interesting.
You would think, right? So now you and I have to pool our money together and just start buying a bunch of old homes, right?
Well, and you've actually brought up another really good point, where if, let's say, you have a bad experience as a seller, call up the buyer afterwards and go, hey, I left a bunch of stuff there. You can have it. I just wanted to say I got a great deal on the house, so you can have it. And now this guy's tearing up his floorboards. He's tearing up the thing. And the whole time, like, you didn't leave anything there.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah, that's a pretty good move. It's your idea. It's your idea, Craig Yace.
Well, you twisted it. You took it to the next level. Right, Erik? I mean, I didn't go there. You were talking about.
It was implied. It was implied. Hey, Buckler, I'm getting chased by stuff. I don't know what happened. I'm not supposed to, if I'm supposed to remove you or what. Check my pocket. What's this? Oh, okay. Do I shoot it? Do I shoot it? Okay, I'll shoot this way. Okay. So what's South Corona like? You said it's really developed. It's built out. What's it like? Talk. What's the average price? How big are the houses? What are the yards like?
So let me break Corona into like 4 areas. We've got Sierra del Oro, which is right off Green River. That's our very first. It's the very first exit into Corona and into the Inland Empire from the dreaded 91. I know you're in Arizona, right?
Yeah.
But you've got to know about the 91. No?
I've heard it's dreaded.
It's dreaded, yeah. So anyway, a lot of people like to buy there because it's close to Orange County, and Orange County is where many of the jobs are. So we're a bedroom community. It seems like that entire area, it's not a huge area, but that whole section seems to have been built in 87 and 88.
Okay.
So all the homes like that.
A lot of good stuff built in those years.
For sure. Absolutely. And they've got views and, wildlife and all kinds of stuff. But
stylistically, maybe not the best anymore. The white tile, right? A lot of gold.
Yeah.
A lot of octagon shapes.
Gold, like Trump style.
A little bit in the 80s. You know what I mean? It could go either way. You got to remodel them 80s houses.
Absolutely. And a lot of people they put money into them. And so they get a good chunk of money out of them. And that area sells for about 70 or 80,000, probably, maybe even 100,000 more than South Corona, which is just 7 miles away.
Interesting.
But so we've got Sierra del Oro. We've got like the traditional or the northern part of Corona. We've got South Corona, and then we've got what I call Deep South Corona. But South Corona, I don't know how many homes are there. I think there are a lot. I know there are a lot. Um, I'm blonde and Polish, so I say silly things sometimes. That was a joke. You could laugh.
Craig Yace, you're killing it. I'm just letting you know right now. I'm going to edit out you like forgetting that you're killing it. But just so that you know, you're destroying things right now. You are doing incredible.
Really?
Incredible.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'll keep it up.
Yes. So you were saying, you said South Corona, and then like Deep South Corona. So like talk about South Corona keep going with that.
So South Corona is a section of homes where arguably it's like, again, it's a bedroom community. Homes were built from 92 and even some current homes. So the older homes, if you know anything about when a developer starts to develop an area, at least, nowadays, right? They go in and they'll set up these little small homes, 1,400 square foot homes, small lots. They want to
keep the price point low.
Keep the price, exactly.
Get some momentum going.
Right. They want to see if they can get people out there. And once they start getting people out there, then they'll build bigger homes, which are kind of like for, normal people. And then they start building the Mac Daddy houses, the big ones for executives and CEOs and, bank owners. There's a guy that owns a bank who lives in South Corona. So South Corona has all of those homes in there. And it's a really safe community. We've got a great police department. So the rest of South Corona, it's just, we have some beautiful, beautiful homes. Lot sizes typically range from 4,000 to 7,000 square feet. And then, of course, we've got some 10 and 12,000s. And then we've got some acreage, which is fantastic. So we've got these beautiful homes, minimum 1 acre lots. There's one house on the market right now for just under $4 million. It's a 10,000 square foot house. And they've got an 18-person theater in their house. And
that's awesome.
It's a gorgeous home. It's wonderful. I think the most expensive home that sold in South Corona was $6.8 million.
Wow.
So, but our average home price, you had asked that before. Average home price right now is like 5 to 7 or 800,000.
Okay, super reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people move out to Corona because Orange County is so much more expensive. So I'm working with a buyer right now who's looking in Orange County. He's looking in these tried and true neighborhoods, Fullerton, Anaheim. We've been blocks from Disneyland, which I would never want to live there because they fire off the fireworks every night. But he's looking at a house. His price range is up to 780, and man, we're looking at homes that are built in the 50s. They're 15, 16, 1,700 square feet, and I'm telling him, move a couple miles inland, go to Corona, because I just sold a house for less than for 765, and it was 27 or 2,800 square feet. Beautiful home, not brand new, but it's like
newer, updated.
Yep. They won't do it though. I don't know why.
Well, everybody has their own taste, right? So are those all the neighborhoods?
So, and then Deep South Corona. Hold on one second. I'm going to wipe the sweat off my brow. You're going to edit this out, I hope.
Yes, I will. Yes.
Yeah, we're at so I'm in the front of the office. Oh my gosh, I've got so much sweat. We're at the front of the office and the AC doesn't really, I've got a team event there. I get nothing in here. So.
Well, again, I go back to how I started. You look amazing.
Thanks, man. Yeah. It's the glisten. It's the shimmer, right?
No, it's just all of it.
I think the
it's the captain of industry Pat Riley thing you got going on. It's just fabulous.
I think the camera's helping out there. I really do.
So nice. You're like the nicest guy in the world. You can see that from your videos too. You're literally the nicest guy. Anyway, I'm just glad to be your friend. But keep going with the neighborhoods.
And the prices get better because it's farther away from, from industry, from freeways that, like here in traditional South Corona, we're about 2 miles off the 91 freeway. So it's kind of tucked up into the hills. It's a beautiful area. I know I've said that 100 times, but you've got access to a couple of freeways from South Corona. You get down to deep South Corona, and you've got to there's like one freeway and one side road in case that freeway gets jammed up. And it could take a long time on a school day to get to work if you work in Orange County. So prices are much lower there, but there are also great areas. We don't have a whole lot of homeless folks that go that far down. And in South Corona, we don't see any of them. Of course, we see them closer to the freeways. But yeah, so, again, real safe, really pretty homes, really pretty neighborhoods, and great people. Back in the day, now we have these electronic lock boxes, but back in the day, they were combo boxes. You'd have to call, leave a voicemail, somebody call you back and say, yes, you can come show the house. So this agent that I know goes out to this house. He has an appointment. He gets there with his clients. They walk they're going through the whole house. They walk into the master bedroom and some woo-hoo is happening, right?
Okay. Some adult activities.
Adult activities.
Yes.
And they said, oh, sorry. Oh my gosh. And so they kind of backed their way out and they left. Of course, all the parties saw everybody. So they're like, oh gosh, that was awkward, but we love the house. And I'm like, or not me, but he was like, okay, I'll write an offer. Now, back in these days, we used to actually, and I still do this as often as I can because I think it's a better way to get your client's offer accepted. But back in those days, you would actually go to the client's house, meet with the agent, meet with the client, the sellers, and present your buyer's offer. Sometimes you'd even have your buyer there.
In person?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's old school. So he shows up at the house, this agent, and there's the listing agent, which is the one that represents the seller, Mr. Seller, and Mrs. Seller. And he's like, uh-oh, that's not the Mr. that we saw this afternoon.
Drop it the comment, like it, and subscribe. Blah, blah, blah. Thee knowest thy drilleth.